Welcome to today's Pep Talk Tuesday. What are we talking about? July 7th. Yeah, it's Tuesday, July 7th. So thank you for being here today. Pep Talk with Dr. Ellis. For those who don't know, Pep Talk stands for Pastor Ellis Powell, teacher, author, life coach. All right? So thank you for being here. What an honor and privilege it is to share that which, God's given to me. I love to share and to give to everyone else. I believe that's my way of contribution and making this world a better place. I truly believe at the end of the day that the world doesn't get better until people get better. And I believe that your life won't get better until you get better. All right? But you got to take the initiative to get better. You got to work at getting better. It must be intentional. Not accidental, but intentional that you get better. And it must develop a habit. That's the only way that you can get better, all right? I say all the time that you can have it if you're willing to develop the habits. Those habits is what will lead you to exactly what you'll have in life. The best way to predict the future is to what? To create it, all right? So that's where we're at. All right, I'm going to finish up. I started giving you 10 of the key qualities that all start with C that falls up under the personal power lessons for a better life. Personal power lessons for a better life. So that's what I want to talk to you about. Now, I've given you 5 already. I'll give a 1-minute recap, and one was clarity. It all starts with clarity. You got to be clear and concise of what you want. Be very clear. Most folks are not clear. I want a good life. Okay, but what does that look like? I want to make more money. What does that look like? I want a better house. What does that look like? I want to drive a better car. What does that look like? All right? I want to go here. What does that look like? All right? Now, once you're able to be clear on what you want, it's not easy for you now to be distracted. Most folks are distracted because they're not clear. You understand what I'm saying? I'm clear. I want a salad and soup. Got it. All right. So someone accidentally brings something to my table and says, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Here's your steak and your potato. Didn't order that. Are you sure? Yeah. I ordered a salad and soup. I'm clear. Right. So not easy distracted. Going here, going there, dealing with this person, that person. So you need clarity. You got to be clear. Be very clear. That's the first step, because if you're not clear, then everything else won't matter, all right? 2, you got to be competent, all right? You got to study to show thyself approved. Be the best you can be. Always working on your game. It's like a little kid. I want to be an NBA player. All right, well, every day he should be working on his free throws. Every day he should be working on his jump shot. Every day he should be working again on his handles. Every day he should be out there working on his game so he can be the best. Watching videos and films of other people. You see what I'm saying? Let's work on his game. So competent. Be the best. In all that you do, again, give your very best, all right? So it's very important that you be competent. Desire to be the best in your field of whatever you do. You mop floors, be the best doggone floor mopper you can be. You want to be there when people walk on your floors, they see themselves, all right? And trust me, the right person will come along and see that floor and goes, who did these doggone floors? I got to have their phone number. So within that, who knows? That gets you to the right person. Who knows? That gets you to start doing your own business, because why? You can do floors like nobody else. Remember, I told you, in order to make yourself differentiate from folks, it just has to be 10% better. Improve whatever that product is or that service is 10%. That's it. Not a whole lot. And that's what makes yourself differentiate from everybody else. It's going to take concentration. Remember, I told you that. Concentration. It's going to take focus. All right? You got to have some clarity. You got to be competent in what you do. But it's going to take some concentration. And that is focus. I talked to you about a lens and how you can have a picture, but if it's not focused right, you won't see it. All right? The picture is in the concentration. You must meditate on it day and night. Focus, okay? See yourself already being, doing, having. See yourself being, doing, having. See yourself being, doing, having. You be it first. You be it first. You be the successful person. Then you do the things that require a successful person to do. And then you'll what? Have success. Be, do, have. That's how it works. But you got to be it first. Most folks say, well, once I have it, then I'll do it, then I'll be it. You must mentalize it. Once you mentalize it, then you can materialize it. All right? That's what it has. So it must transform. It must move from a synthetic to tangible. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So clarity, competence, concentration, common sense. One philosopher says that most people have a ton of sense because they never use it. They have it, but they never use it. My saying is, maybe not be one of the most popular ones, but common sense is not common at all. It's not. It's not common at all. So you want to make sure you utilize common sense through reasoning. All right? Through reasoning at the end of the day. So you make sure you use your common sense. And then creativity. Make sure you use your creativity, your imagination. All right? That yet you can think of some of the best ways of doing things, creating things. All right? So those are the 5 so far, that the 10 key qualities. Now, let's move on to number 6. Consideration is what we want to talk about now. Consideration. The quality of your relationships with people determines the level of your success. Consideration. Your happiness, your success is going to be based on your consideration. Charles Schwab says this: I will pay more for a skill to get along with others than anything else. Wow. Charles Schwab says, I will pay more for a skill to get along with others than anything else. Why? Because you're going to need that skill to get along with others. Why? To get things done. You got to work with people, and you got to have a skill to know how to get with people. Create that harmony. Create that flow. All right? So, consideration is going to be number 1. Take courses in communication, effective learning, or public speaking, but learn how to speak. Learn how to learn. Learn how to communicate, articulate that which you so desire. Increase the size of your vocabulary, able to articulate, communicate with others. Increase your size of your vocabulary. I got to get better at increasing that myself. My desire was to do at least 5 words per day. 5 words per day in my vocabulary. At least know the word, the pronunciation, and the meaning. That, again, I must get back to that, even personally myself. Wow. But I really got to get back to that. Now I'll even think about it. Because your vocabulary is what makes you able to say it in such a simplistic way that people can get it. And sometimes people get frustrated, or people use profanity or so forth because they know no other way to articulate themselves because their vocabulary only goes so high. Okay? So, do that. Able to write effectively. That's another one. Able to write effectively. Able to sit down and write a letter, your thoughts on paper, that one could read it and understand what you're saying. Can actually get the picture of your writing. All right? Also, write number 4, learn one new word a day. 365 days times 5 years. One of the most brightest human beings, if you were to learn that many words. 365 times 5 years. You're looking at maybe about 1,800, 2,000 words you would have learned in 5 years. That would make you one of the most and brightest human beings. Just that alone. I mean, that is pretty simple. I know, but if you can learn, think about it, 1 new word a day in a year times 5 years, you will be one of the most brightest persons on the face of the earth. Period. We're not talking about an associate's degree. We're not talking about a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or doctorate, PhD, or whatever it is. No, just learning one new word every day times 5 years, you will be one of the top and the brightest persons on the face of the earth. That's an awesome challenge just by itself. And it costs you absolutely nothing. Costs you nothing. No student loans, no grants. Boy, but man, would you be an effective communicator? And people would love to just hear you speak. All right? The average child learns about 5,000 words the first 5 years of life versus the average adult learns average of 5 words a year. Wow. So the average child learned 5,000 words the first 5 years of life. 5,000 words in the first 5 years. The average adult learns on an average of 5 words a year. Gosh. So let's take a person who's 20, lived to be 70. That's 250 new words they've learned in 50 years? Gosh. Wow. And a kid learned 5,000 by the time they're 5 years old. It's crazy. God, it's awesome. Wow. Because why? The kid just living and growing and absorbing as they grow. But an adult has to intentionally grow. This is natural. This is intentional. And that's what makes it so much harder, because it's intentional. You don't naturally get it. You got to force yourself to get it. Words are our tools which allows us to create. You got to get better at words. In the beginning was the what? The Word. In the beginning was the Word. God said, let there be light, and light showed up. So get better at your words. Take time to pause while I'm thinking about it. Take time to pause. I think a lot of times most people don't speak well because there's such a rush to respond. Shall I not even say respond, react. They're in a rush to react. And they don't take the time to pause to respond. And that's why you get some of the things that people say and you go, oh my God, did he say that? Oh my God, did she say that? Yeah. Pause so you can respond. So you can be able to articulate and describe in such a way that everybody can see the picture you've just painted. So, pause. I've had to learn that through some couple of public speaking classes I've been a part of. Just pause. No, know what I'm saying? No, those are what's called fillers. You don't have to say that. Just pause. Think about it first, then respond. Most of us, I probably said it before, I'm just sure, I know I've said it on this show before, but most of us listen just so we can react and be able to say something quickly. We're not listening to understand. We're listening to react. So I'm listening to what you got to say so I can hear it and say something back. But I should be listening to understand so I know how to properly respond. So, words are tools which allows us to create. Practice the golden rule. Whatever you sow, you will reap. Practice the golden rule, which in essence, is a good standard of how to treat other people. Because in essence, how you're treating them is exactly how you will be treated back. You want people to treat you right, treat them right. Be, do, have. So I want people to treat me right, so I must be that first. I must be a person who treats everybody else as right. Okay, then I'll do that since I am being, and I'll do it, and then I'll have people treat me right as well. Now again, it's not a guarantee that everybody's going to treat me right, but for the most part, yeah, it'll be just that. You reap what you sow. The ability to persuade and influence others. All right, the Carnegie Institute research. Most people are let go for their inability to get along with others. And it's so true. When it boils down to it, you got a person here who gets along with everybody, but not quite as good at their job. Then you got another person who's good at their job, but doesn't get along with a lot of people. Believe me, which one will you get rid of first? The one who the one who gets along with people but doesn't do their job quite as well, you can still train and advance them. The people who does their job well but don't get along with others, there's not a lot you can do with that. And then before you know it, they become very cancerous. And before you know it, they'll be the first one you want to get rid of, because now they're creating an environment that's, at the end of the day, is not good for everybody. And now it becomes so toxic that you got to get rid of the very person that was good at their job. A lot of people feel, hey, as long as I'm good, I can do what I want to do. Not so much, because you're still a disruption to the rest of the team. And you are not the team. You're an individual. You're not the whole team. All right? So, yeah. So you want people who get along with others, which is derived. And most, do you not know they say most people who don't get along with others? Please write this down. This is so important here. It blew my mind. It says that most people who have an inability to get along with others is derived from low self-esteem. Isn't that crazy? The reason they had a problem getting along with other people because they got a problem, watch this, with themselves. Does make sense. Does make sense. So the people who, I don't like them, and 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 I don't like them, yeah, they got a problem with themselves. I hope that's not you. And if so, then, yeah, just, you got to feel better about yourself. That's why it's called self-esteem. All right? So most people who do not get along with others, believe it or not, don't even get along with themselves. They have low self-esteem. Wow, that just almost cause you to have pity on the people who are always frustrated and angry all the time. Like, my God, what is wrong with you? You're always so frustrated. You're always so this and so that. They have low self-esteem. Yeah. Which causes personality problems. Not liking themselves, I talked about that already. They feel inferior to others, and etc. Causing them to lash out at other people. Self-esteem, all right? They don't. The reason they don't have self-esteem because they don't have a clear plan. We talked about that earlier. People who don't have clarity, people who don't not clear about what they want, have depression, stress, and low self-esteem because they can't see the good thing that's coming. So if you can see the good thing coming, you can walk right through it, almost like a tightrope in a circus. You can walk right through it. But if you can't see it, then that's a problem. So most people we talked about that don't have clarity, don't have a plan, don't have a vision, it's easy to allow distractions and hindrances to come into their lives and create hurdles because why? They don't see it. And that brings about low self-esteem, depression. All right? So having a clear plan and purpose for your life increases self-esteem. Wow. I got to always keep that in my pocket here. Yeah. Having a clear plan and purpose for your life increases self-esteem. But no plan and direction creates frustration. Self-esteem is a major key to successful relationships. So the more you feel a high self-esteem about yourself, the better and the longer relationships you'll have. Because they won't be so toxic. They won't be so dependent. They won't be so broken. They won't be so fragile because you have high self-esteem. And I'm telling you say, how do I get high self-esteem? Having a clear plan and purpose for your life. Having a clear image. Remember, self-esteem, self-image. Self-image. So go in the mirror and make sure your picture looks as good as you want it to be. It's that simple. All right? Now, remember now, the reflection on the outside is simply a reflection of the inside. All right? All right. Number 7. I'm on number 7. The 7th C. We talked about clarity, competence, concentration, common sense, creativity, consideration. Now we're going to be on consistency. Consistency is dependable people who are steady and predictable. Work is always superior compared to spurts and flares of genius. I'm going to say it again, consistency. Being dependable, being steady is predictable. Work is always superior compared to spurts and flares of genius. Be consistent in your relationship with your family, your friends, your boss, your work. Be the turtle, be the tortoise, not the rabbit. People know if you say something or do, they can depend on it. Develop a person of character. Character. Say what you mean what you say. All right? Be that person. Be consistent in everything that you do. The greatest joy is when an employer can give a task knowing it will get done versus not knowing it will be good or even if it will be on time. The greatest joy is when the employee can give a task knowing it will get done versus not knowing it will get done or even if it will even be on time. There's a law of accumulation. Though you can't see, but it rewards you bountifully on the many things you did or do, all the minor accomplishments. So don't disregard a minor accomplishment. You know, hey man, I appreciate that. Oh, that was nothing. No, 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 no. That's called the law of accumulation. It's like the snowball. See, when you start accomplishing a few things, this, that, and that, don't brush them off because it'll gain what's called also the law of accumulation will turn into the law of what's called momentum. And that will allow you now to attack bigger things and accomplish bigger projects and accomplish bigger desires and bigger dreams. So don't brush off those small accomplishments, all right? You just paid off a small credit card. It's an accomplishment. You walked an extra quarter of a mile or half a mile today. That's an accomplishment. You lost 1 or 2 pounds. That's an accomplishment. Don't brush that off. Oh, it's not exactly 10 or 15 the way I want. No, but it's 1 or 2. Use that. The law of accumulation. You're accumulating stuff. I done this, did this, did this, did this, did this, did this. Watch this. I can do that. See what I'm saying? So don't disregard, again, minor accomplishments. Every single great success comes out of many failures. Every single great success comes out of many failures. So that's why you got to celebrate. Celebrate the small, the minor accomplishment. No matter what it is, celebrate it. Because you're still accomplishing. You're still being successful. So don't minimize it at the end of the day. Yeah, it was no big deal. It is a big deal. You still succeeded. You still accomplished it. All right? So please celebrate that. Failure, 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 failure equals great success. Some will still say, you're lucky. You got to get this. Most people will never succeed in life because they are afraid of failing. You're going to fail. Gosh, that alone was worth $1 million. You're going to fail. But that doesn't make you a failure. Okay? If you're learning from those failures, it's in time will make you a great success. Or you're learning from those things. So either you will succeed or you will learn. But you never lose. You never lose. Because here's why. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. So don't worry about failing. All right? And keep in mind that great leaders and successful people, they don't make all the right decisions, but they do make all of their decisions right. All right? That's how they do it. That's how they do it. They don't make all the right decisions. Some things just went wrong, but they make it right. They make it right. All right? And that's bought with consistency. That bought with habits. That bought with making decisions. Again, I taught you that 80% of decisions need to be made right then. 80% of them need to be made right then. Guard your integrity. All right? I'm at the last here. I'm on, 7? I'll finish the next 3 up on Thursday. Guard your integrity. Your integrity is your word. Never compromise your peace of mind. Here's the barometer. Here's the thermostat. If it makes you sad, get out of it. I'll say it again. If it makes you sad, get out of it. It's already going against you. If it makes you sad, get out of it. The blessing, Proverbs 10:22 said, the blessing of the Lord makes one rich, and he adds no sorrow to it. Yeah, if it's making you sad, no, that's not it. That's not it. If it's tugging on your spirit and your soul, that's not it. Okay? So that's where we're at on today. So we'll pick up on, I think I got 3 more left. Yeah, we'll pick up on 3 more on Thursday. But I hope you certainly enjoyed consideration. I hope you definitely enjoyed consistency. Stay consistent, all right? Never give up. Never quit. Have that resolve that at the end of the day, I'm never going back, and I'll do it until I die because I gotta have it. And when you have a commitment like that, when you are consistent like that, and you know how to treat people, I can't tell you enough of that. Learn how to treat people. But I come to understand that you can't treat people right until you treat you right. The good book says that the greatest commandment is to love thy neighbor, love God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your might. And love thy neighbor as what? Thyself. God's first, you second, neighbor third. But I realize that I can't love me until I learn how much God loves me. Once I learn how much God loves me, boy, does that give me value. Boy, does that give me purpose. Boy, does that give me clarity. See, now I can love me, all right, because I know how much he loves me. And then since I love me, as we talked about already, it's easy to love everybody else. You got it? God first, me second, everybody else third. But yet it could be all one beautiful relationship. All right, so we'll pick up on the last 3 C's, the 10 keys, personal power lessons for a better life on Thursday. Hey, hope and pray that you was blessed. Have an awesome Tuesday. God bless you. See you soon. Bye now.